is the work of a designer, such as that lens here, fundamentally the same as a painting by Gustav Klimt. The question you have to ask yourself is, what is the underlying difference between design and art? These designers here are really famous in my world, but how many people here know who any of these people are? So, well, fundamentally, these are my heroes, and what they use is fundamentally the same as what artists use. They are, in many ways, artists. The question is it the medium that makes the difference? Well, what you see here are two designs, one by Joseph Mueller-Brockman and another by Abraham Gaines. They use, one is using minimalism and the other is a more painterly approach, both of which are common in art. But why are these not considered art, but are considered design? Similarly, the two paintings you see here use typography and a rigid grid system, which are common in design, but these are considered art. What is the difference? What makes it stand out? Well, I posit that the major difference between art and design is the purpose of the work. Design creates understanding. Design is there to solve a problem. Design uses the visual to communicate, such as the work by Experimental Jet Set, and here we are, some actual artworks that are very, very different than design. The purpose of these, we don't know, really. They're art. They could be anything. It could be, I got paid for this, or I had some extremely expressive thing I wanted to get out of my system. So, design, on the other hand, has to communicate, period. That's the point. If you have a work by Herbert Motter saying, this is Switzerland in the 1920s, or you have a map by Vignelli saying, navigate New York. It solves a problem. Now, art is about inspiration and about interpretation. When you look at this piece, you pull out of it what you want. Who knows what Van Gogh was thinking? Each of us, through our own experience, pulls out something of the work. However, in design, it is all about telling you a message. What you see here is a piece that says, hey, this state was broken by war. Hey, let's win a war. The messages are clear. Now, bringing back to inspiration, I love this piece. I do love art. Kandinsky, I got to actually see this recently at the Guggenheim, and art is there to inspire you. It inspires me both in design, in art, and in life. But to be honest, design is not about inspiration. It can be, but design is about motivation. Whether getting you to go out and protest, or involve yourself, or perhaps plant a garden and grow some food. These works, including this piece by Abraham Gaines, are famous in the design community, but are not considered art necessarily. Now, art is a matter of taste, and art is a matter of appreciation. You can learn to appreciate art. I think all of us understand that. I've been sitting in front of this 4 times now at the Art Center. It is incredibly wonderful. It inspires me. Design, on the other hand, taste and motivation, and when it comes to it, this needs to be effective. Is design effective? This piece by D&D is one of the most famous Volkswagen ads ever, this entire series. Anybody seen Mad Men first season? You know this. What about constraints? Art is about fighting constraints. Don't dare tell an artist what to do. They won't like it. It's about their expression. Yves Klein, part of the avant-garde, expressed himself and broke barriers, defying constraints. Design, on the other hand, loves constraints. Charles Eames said, hey, don't give me freedom, give me constraints. Because that's the problem. That's the thing that he solved. just like Alexei Brodovich here, who uses the constraints of photography, typography, copying, and magazine. In the end analysis, when it comes to art, we, the artist, pours themselves into the work, and we pull from it what we choose, whether it is a Rothko painting or a still life by Cezanne. The message could be anything. In design, it fails if you do not get the message. Whether it's chaotic as a Sagameister piece for Lou Reed, or metaphorical, like I Love New York by the great William Clayshake. Look him up, he's cool. One other thing to consider is, I believe art is art because the artist says it's art. Warhol made art from the common everyday, from pop. Yayoi Kusama made it from light. Those artists decided this was art. But what brings design to art? Well, they're part of the continuum. It is to a degree art. But design becomes art when its purpose has passed us, like this Rodchenko work. This was designed to say, hey, get books. That's it. But now, it's representative of a time and a place. If I ask you to take one thing away from this, take this. When you love art, you say, I like it. But when you love design, say, that works. Good design works. And that's the best thing you can tell us.